All right, it is time for our step-by-step freestyle tutorial. And inside of this, we're gonna begin by just pushing off in a glide and ensuring that we maintain a 100% state of relaxation throughout this entire process. So I'll begin by just pushing off with my arms in front of me in a Superman position. And it looks like this. All right, now step 2, I want you to do that exact same process, but only take 4 relaxed freestyle strokes. When we are swimming freestyle, there are a couple of very important aspects of the stroke that I want us to think about. Number 1 is that our arms always enter in front of our shoulder. All right, one of the more common mistakes that new swimmers make is they either enter out very wide, way out here, or on their entry in front, they cross over. All right, and this takes away from our ability to create propulsion with our pull. Anytime our arm crosses over, that first motion that our arms are gonna create is a slip in the water. So we end up having to work harder in order to create the same result. So once again, our arm enters right in front of our shoulder. From there, the first thing that our arm does is pull down, okay? This is not the same as pulling down like this. First motion, wrist comes down, elbow stays up, and we pull that arm all the way through until we finish with a flick of the wrist, okay? And when we put that all together, it looks like this. The next step, once you've done, let's say 3 or 4 repetitions of 4 strokes, is we want to start to increase the number of strokes that we're taking. But I want you to do that first with a drill called catch-up drill. Catch-up drill is a very simple drill where our lead hand waits until our recovering hand touches. So one hand, simpler put, just catches up to the other hand and touches it before the next hand begins the pull. When we put that together, it looks like this. The second drill I want you to work on is a finishing drill where we purposefully think about flicking the water behind us as we finish our stroke. All right, or you can think about waving at someone who is behind you. All right, and when we put that drill together, this is what it looks like. Now, if you notice in those 2 drills, I did not include breathing, and that's because we are going to cover that now. And so the easiest drill to practice proper side breathing is standing up in shallow water and mimicking our stroke rhythm and movement while we're standing up. Bend at the waist. All right, we're going to put our head down in the water, and we're going to do a breath on every 4th stroke. You know, what's really important here is that we're breathing only to our dominant side, which means if we're right-handed, we're breathing to the right side. If you're left-handed, you breathe to the left side. But we're not doing bilateral breathing or breathing to both sides. That's kind of 1990s, early 2000s swimming thinking. Now it's much more front and center to always breathe to our dominant side. All right, we're gonna do that on every 4th repetition or arm cycle, and it looks like this. Now, there are 2 different ways in which the swim community typically teaches exhaling when we're underwater. And this is the first stage in which we really introduce exhaling underwater consistently so that when we turn our head to the side in freestyle to breathe, we're only inhaling and we're no longer exhaling. So we do have to start blowing bubbles at this stage of swimming. Well, there's two different options. One is a steady, slow, consistent exhale as soon as we put our face in. And the second is a little bit more intentional, purposeful exhale when we're starting to bring our fourth arm cycle forward. Okay, I'm gonna walk through both of those now. Most of my clients have better success exhaling with the second option, which is as we're on our fourth stroke. So 1, 2, 3, we begin exhaling. 4, turn our head, and we only inhale to breathe. And I think that's a little bit more optimal for most new swimmers as opposed to exhaling consistently under the water. Because what ends up happening when we're exhaling the entire time is we start to lower, our body lowers in the water. And that can sometimes make it difficult for our head to turn to the side and breathe. All right, so let me demonstrate both for you now. All right, hopefully you could see the bubbles blowing that entire time. Now let's move into the second option, which is waiting until the fourth arm cycle starts to move forward in order for us to begin more forcefully blowing bubbles. And that looks like this. We're gonna hold our breath the entire time until that last arm cycle. Now, I think the right way to find what's most optimal for you is to practice both of those ways a number of times, minimum of 10 times each, until you can fully understand how you're responding and how your buoyancy is impacted by either one of those exhaling decisions. Like I said, most of my clients do better with option 2, but everyone is different. And when we put that together and swim freestyle, it looks like this.